I've been crocheting for quite a long time, about 10 years. And, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but I feel like it's taught me a lot. Not just about stitches and different techniques, but a lot about life. And today, while I sat down to crochet, I thought I'd share some of those lessons with you. And hopefully, you find some inspiration from them and some of it resonates with you also. Lesson one: progress does not require perfection. Waiting until everything is perfect before you start, that is the fastest way to waste years of your life. You are never going to feel ready, and at some point, you just have to decide to start. Yeah, it's going to be messy. You're going to be unsure, and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have to backtrack. You're going to have to do over a lot of things. You're going to have to rethink things. But that's okay, and that's all part of it. In crochet, we call it frogging, just ripping things out and redoing them. Maybe you weren't happy with it. Maybe it wasn't the right thing. And that's okay because you can always start over, and it's frustrating. But that does not mean that you failed. It just means that you're still working towards the end result, your goal. The same thing with life. Don't let a messy start stop you from making your dreams happen. And number two, I don't necessarily know that I call it a lesson, but very important all the same, is taking time to figure out who you really are, your true self. We live in a world that is so loud and so distracting. We have jobs we don't like. We have people telling us what we should and shouldn't do, and just constant noise. And the most of us don't actually know what it is that we really want. And yeah, it's important to take some time to think about these things. And that was me for a very long time. I knew that deep down I wanted freedom, I wanted stability, I wanted abundance in my life. And I just had no idea how to get there. And it's really just because I never slowed down enough and stopped listening to those voices enough to think about it. And, in crochet, it kind of forces you to slow down and think. You're working stitch by stitch, row by row, and you have a lot of time to think and to check in with yourself. And it's something like figuring out your crochet style too. Everybody's style is different, and sometimes you have to experiment to figure out what it is that you really like and what feels right to you. Lesson three is start small but dream big. I have always been a dreamer, and let me tell you, it's tough sometimes. Big goals can feel impossible, but they're not. They just don't happen all at once. You have to break them down into little baby steps. And in crochet, even the biggest projects start with one chain or one stitch. And think about making a blanket. It's a huge project and it might seem daunting, but that end result is going to be so worth it in the end. And you don't see the whole thing at once. You just visualize it and you just keep at it. And eventually, you're going to be holding that finished object and just thanking yourself for keeping at it and that you've kept going. And it's the same thing with your goals. Just start small, but don't be afraid to think bigger than where you are right now. Lesson four is stop comparing yourself. Comparison will eat you alive. And someone else's success does not mean that you are failing. It just means they're on a different path. Maybe they had different goals. or they just did different things than you, have different experiences, and you don't know what they went through to get to where they are. They could have went through a lot to get to where they are, and you are just uniquely you. You don't have the same experiences, the same knowledge, or the same goals as anyone else. So you're not going to get to your goals the same way anyone else does. And that is perfectly okay. And crochet proves this every day, especially with social media. And as we all know, it can be pretty toxic sometimes. But you know what? 100 people can follow the same pattern, use the same yarn, and still end up with results that look different. And that's okay. Maybe they used a different stitch, or they use a different hand to make the stitches. And, it may have taken someone else 5 hours. It may have taken you 3 days, but that doesn't matter. It is okay. And does that make one better than the other? Absolutely not. It just makes them unique. And that's how life works too. Lesson 5 is one you will all love, and that is to be patient. As crocheters, we all know very well that it takes a lot of patience sometimes. I mean, a lot. And everyone wants results overnight, but that's just not how real progress works. And it's not something in the end that if you rush through that you're really going to feel proud of at the end of the day. It's just things take time. And I always believe that the things that matter the most in life, they are the things that take time. I mean, it's just like, it also like growing a garden, You just got to plant the seeds and you keep watering them every day. And with crochet, I mean, you don't finish a blanket or a detailed, complicated pattern in one sitting. And if you do, then you're amazing. But for most people, it's not the case. It takes days, weeks, months sometimes, depending on what you're making. And it's the same with your dreams and your goals. You just move forward one step, one stitch at a time. And if you keep showing up, even in small ways, and just taking small little actions, eventually it all adds up. And you're going to have a finished goal or finished product that you can be so proud of. So if you needed this reminder today, don't wait for perfection. Stop comparing. Be patient with yourself and just keep moving forward. One stitch, one step at a time. It all adds up faster than you think. I hope some of this resonated with you. So, if so, leave me a comment down below and let me know where you're at in your crochet journey or in your journey with life, and maybe the things that you'd like to work on yourself. We're all in this together.